Assalamualaikum. Today we will discuss how Muslims used their own wealth to spread Islam. Prophet Muhammad and his companions never used any of their resources or wealth for personal comfort. When they were being persecuted in Mecca, they left all their possessions behind when they immigrated to Medina. They became very poor in order to preserve and practice Islam. Even when Prophet Muhammad and his companions were given gifts or they captured wealth from enemies after battles, they always used this wealth to spread Islam. In the year 636, the Muslim army along with the negotiator Al-Mughira bin Sobah entered Persia. The leader of the Persian army, Rostam, arranged a meeting with Al-Mughira. Rostam told Al-Mughira that if he led the Muslims back to Arabia, the Persians would give the Muslims an annual amount of money so they would no longer be poor. Al-Mughira told Rostam that they came to spread Islam, not to gather wealth. For 9 years Prophet Muhammad and his companions were engaged with the people of Arabia. They never fought to obtain wealth but only to protect themselves and spread Islam. For 1,000 years before the time of Prophet Muhammad, the Arabs never joined together to fight the Romans or Persians. These Arabs were afraid to fight these empires, though they were poor and needed money badly. With Islam, these poor Arab Muslims joined together and fought against these great empires, because they always knew they had support from God. When Prophet Muhammad wrote letters to kings of other countries, he never asked them to send money or gift, but to accept Islam and continue to rule their nations. They used any wealth they obtained to go far and wide to spread Islam. These journeys cost the Muslims all their wealth for support as well as losing many lives. If the Muslims were only looking for wealth, they would have found enough when they opened Egypt, Iraq and Syria. But instead they used their wealth to continue the spread of Islam. They continued beyond Arabia because they knew that Islam is for all nations. Muslims were never after wealth, rather they brought the word of Allah to the mankind. They did not come for power or to destroy but to establish the rule of the mighty Allah. Now we will discuss Prophet Muhammad's military battles and ethics. Prophet Muhammad never initiated a battle. In the year 630, the Prophet Muhammad sent a messenger, Shoja bin Wahib al-Asadi, to the king of the Arab Christian, Al-Harith bin Shongar al-Ghassani, who was under Roman rule. Al-Harith killed Shoja. This act pushed the Prophet to the Battle of Mawdar, near Jordan, where the Muslims defeated Al-Harith's army. The Prophet fought this battle to preserve the tradition of not harming the messengers. In the year 631, Prophet Muhammad learned that the Romans were gathering Arab tribes to march against the Muslims in Medina. The Prophet asked the Muslims in Medina to go and fight rather than wait for the enemy to invade Medina. He led the Muslims in victory at the Battle of Pbuh. Under the rule of the Islamic State, no one is forced to become a Muslim. Non-Muslims pay a compensation tax jizya because the non-Muslims do not serve in the army. They receive protection, religious freedom and many other rights under the Islamic rule. Prophet Muhammad said that on the last day of judgment, he will defend any Christian or Jew who was treated unfairly or abused while under the Islamic rule. Prophet Muhammad, his companions and other Muslim leaders developed a code of ethics for all Muslim soldiers. Soldiers are commanded not to be traitors, not to steal, not to attack without warning, to leave the dead bodies of the enemy alone, not to kill women, children or old people, not to burn or destroy farmers' crop properties, not to kill animals except for food, not to bother anyone who is inside a church or temple, not to kill religious people, not to starve the enemy. Declare war before a fight, and before you to declare war ask for peace and negotiations.